Hello, my beautiful wildflowers. How are you today? Alexis here with Haute Modesty. Today, I have the finale, my stack of naked palettes. I am going to finally rank them for you. And so, if you want to know what are my top 3 palettes, please do stay tuned. Okay, my beautiful wildflowers, welcome back. Well, today I'm going to give you my top 3 ranking and also the bottom 3 and everything in between. And so I'm going to go ahead and rank all of the naked palettes and let you know what I thought of them, okay? And so before I do that though, we must do our affirmations. So let's see what it says today. Okay, let me, okay, sorry about that. I almost dropped all my cards. Okay, so here's the next one. And I got to be able to see, so let's see what it says. And this is the card here. And these are sometimes really hard to read, not like the other ones because the colors just blend. It says, I can feel it rising within me. I was made to feel love, to give love, to search for beauty in our everyday. Very nice. I can feel it rising within me. I was made to feel love, to give love, to search for beauty in our everyday. And I like this and this part, to search for beauty in our everyday. You know, that is so important, and I can't say that enough. You guys hear me say this all the time. I mean, look for the positives even in the negatives, right? And searching every day for what that beauty is part of that. Because I know it's hard. I do know it's hard. I've been there, done that. I have struggled, you know, to a point where I thought to myself, okay, why am I even here, right? I've had those days. And, you know, my search for that happiness, for that self-satisfaction, it wasn't out there somewhere. It was within me. And I needed to find it within me. And that's where I was going wrong. I was looking for happiness everywhere. But where it truly lies, which is in my heart. And in my heart is where I create it, right? And so it's easier said than done. This is the years of, wisdom, I'm telling you. Or the lack thereof is the fact that, you know, you learn every day. And you kind of put these things away in the back of your head, especially those things that are traumatic or that you don't want to remember. You put them away because you don't want to remember. You don't want to hurt again. But you know what? That's where a lot of your answers lie. That's where a lot of yourself resides because you lost a part of you when something like this happens, right? And so you want to make sure you reach into that and you want to search for that beauty and, you know, in your everyday life or in your past, and where it says, I can feel it rising within me. See, it's within you and you have to bring it up. And when you're successful, you'll feel that love rising. And when you feel that self-love, then you can give love. And you can receive love. And until you can do that for yourself, you're not going to be successful. You are not going to find happiness out there when you're miserable in here, okay? But if you are happy here, regardless of what's going on out there, you find a way. You find a way. And you find people to, you know, really share your commonalities. I mean, it's like, have you ever noticed misery loves company? There's a reason why that saying exists. Because miserable people attract misery. And they don't want to be miserable, but they attract it because, you know, it's just that power of attraction that happens in nature, okay? And so really think about that. I can feel it rising within me. I was made to feel love, okay? To give love, okay? And to search for beauty in our everyday. And I'll tell you, you know, the people that write this, I mean, they really have insights into this stuff. And I can see where they have to reach really deep and they've had experiences, because you just don't write things like this because you were happy your whole life and you didn't have any struggles. People that write things like this and that writes the most beautiful love stories and love songs and poetry are people who have been there and done that. And they've survived it. So, yeah, very nice card. Okay, so that is that. And so, for the moment you guys been waiting for, or not, is that I'm going to go ahead and rank all of the Naked series here. I have it here. Only one that I don't have is Naked Smoke. It existed for a very short time. I had it. I gave it to my daughter, and it doesn't exist anymore. So that one, it was all black and gray, not really user friendly. That the formula was good, but I wouldn't say that was a everyday type of palette that you'd be able to use, okay, like the other ones. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and rank all of these for you, and starting with Naked 1, Naked 2, Naked 3, Naked Honey, Naked Cherry, Naked Heat, Naked Reloaded, Naked Ultraviolet, and Naked Wild West. So all of these are ones that I have tried more than once, and I've really tested the formulas as well. And I'm not only grading it on the color story. Color story is great, but that's not about all of it. But it's about the quality, the usability, the blendability. And so when you see me ranking this, and I'll tell you the reason why I ranked them on a bottom. And so the first one I'm going to go ahead and rank at the very bottom of it is this Naked Ultraviolet. And I know some of you are probably surprised because this is my color story. So you're like, oh my God, that's her color story. Why is she ranking it below? Simply because they don't blend well. The pigments are poor, and also especially in these two colors, it's like you can fight to put these two colors, but they don't stay and they don't last, and they're difficult to blend, and the formula is just chalky, and it's not that traditional creamy, nice, beautiful Urban Decay Naked formula. And this is a very hard palette to work with. I know a lot of people like it. I get it, but having been raised on the Naked series all the way from my very first palette, and the only one I ever owned for the longest time was Naked 1, the original. And so I do know somewhat about the formula, what it used to be and what it is today. So I'm comparing this over time. So this is, to me, the worst one. Okay, and also the next one, the next least favorite, is Naked Reloaded. And I'm sad to say this because I really like the color story too. It's a very beautiful color story. I mean, take a look. I mean, these are very usable colors, but man, the formula is terrible. I mean, it's flaky, and the mattes are dry, they don't last, and especially I like what they did here, where they made these thicker, because these are the base that you would usually use, or these are transition colors that you use often. So these two on the end are made larger. I love the idea. I wish they would have done that with some of the other earlier Naked ones, but they didn't, but that's okay. But this really, I mean, although it's so pretty, it's not user friendly, and I don't like the way it doesn't last. I mean, I can put it on and put the best of what do you call it, primer, and it still doesn't last all night. So yeah, that's the second from the bottom. And the third least favorite, and this one you guys probably really gonna not be happy about, is a Naked Wild West. Again, I don't know what they did to the formula. I mean, these things are so powdery. These things kick up. The color, the pigments on contact are okay. Some of these colors, like this one here, you would think in the palette it's beautiful. You put it on, it's like, ew. It's drab. You know what I mean? It doesn't have any kind of foundation color, foundation pigment. So it's almost like translucent, and you have to really layer over layer over layer for these colors to stand. And I'm very sad about that because I was so excited, and I bought it the first day it came out, I bought it. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, could this, did they really get better at what they're doing? But no, they didn't. So this again is on a bottom, okay? I'm going to be honest with you. These three on the bottom was not difficult decision for me. They were not. They were pretty easy for me to say, yeah, these three are terrible. I just have to put them in order of which one was even worse, right? And so now the rest of them is a little bit difficult, okay? Because they're decent, okay? And starting with, I'll tell you, I don't like this color story, but the formula was okay. This is Naked Honey, and I know you guys had a lot of compliments for me as far as this palette went when I did the look. And take a look at that. But the problem is they're too yellow and too gold. And there's a lot of shimmers and metals that are beautiful. There's nice mattes, but the mattes, as you notice here, I mean, they do kick up quite a bit, which surprised me, these two. But the color story is just not attractive at all. As far as like I said, as far as the formula, it's okay. Is it good as the original Naked palettes? No. Is it as bad as the other three I just showed you? No. It's in between, but you know, I mean, it's decent, okay? But I just don't think this color story really makes a whole lot of sense. But I mean, that's me. It's my opinion, and I'm ranking it for me, okay? This is my ranking. This is how I feel about it, okay? So you may think this is number one. That's okay. You know, you do you. We're all good, okay? But this is the next one. But like I said, the remainder after the first three was not easy for me to do, okay? And so the next one, and these I'm going to tell you are the better ones than now that I'm going over. And again, Naked Heat. Again, you know, I mean, this actually is a beautiful color story. It totally makes sense. It does make sense. And the formula is decent. It's pretty good. It's, you know, I think at this point it was still doing okay. Again, not as good as the original, okay? And I'm going to say the original three. It did have a little more kick up, a little more fallout, but there is a lot of mattes in this one. I would have really liked to seen a bright pop of some kind of a shimmer that I could pop in on the middle, and it just isn't that. So I mean, this is very usable. I love this palette, and this is good. Formulas, like I said, decent. Kicks up a little, falls out a little. You have to be careful with these two at the end here. They are quite dark, and they do tend to fall out if you're layering and layering and layering. But then again, you don't need a whole lot of layering. A little bit, but not a whole lot. Okay, so that's that. And then my next one, and this one is got at least a little bit better formula than the Heat or the Naked Honey, which is strange. And that's the Naked Cherry. And it has nothing to do with the color, seriously, even though it is totally me. But the formula of this is actually a lot closer, in my opinion, to the original Naked series. And so, but it's very usable colors. I love it. There's a pop of color here, which is a metallic, and you also have your nice deep colors here. Very easy to transition from a day look to night look with this palette. And also the formula of this, like I said, is closer to more acceptable or what I'm used to. And like these colors here, I mean, this is a nice shimmer. I dig into this a lot. And the thing is, fallout is not as bad on this as it is on the other, you know, the couple here. And so it seems like, you know, to be honest with you, I don't know if this came first or this came first, but somewhere along the line, the formula changed, and not for the better. And so, but yeah, definitely love this one. Like I said, color story totally makes sense. There's a nice pop of light color as well as dark color. And it's use friendly. It blends well together. I mean, it blends very well together. So yeah, and so that's that. And now the top three. You're looking at 1, 2, and 3. You know, this for me was a little bit. It was difficult. Well, this part wasn't, because the best one, I'm gonna give you my number one, and this one actually not only had the color story happening. It had very little kick up, very little fallout, and the color story was beautiful. And you could do many looks with it. And the formula was the top three. These, I believe, have the original formula. And they're creamy, they're blendable. But my favorite top number one is Naked 3. Okay, and I say this because, like I said, for me, it's much more user-friendly. You can go from day to night as well, but you can also wear it at the office. And I mean, you could probably tell because of, you know, where I hit pan on these. So yeah, so as you can see, and these formulas, so creamy, so beautiful, and it doesn't skip. And especially even like these dark colors here, I've used them on the outer V, where it blends very nicely and it doesn't smudge like the later palettes. And so, but yeah, definitely this is my favorite, is Naked 3. And they just came out with the Naked 3, the basics. I thought about getting it. I really did. But, you know, I have so many color stories like this in other palettes that I decided, you know what, I'm going to hold off. So, my number 1. Number 2. Now, this is where it became really difficult because I love both of these palettes. And this is the palette that I used, you know, originally. I mean, this is my second one. The first one I had pan on many palettes. On many pans. And so this is a little bit warmer color. I mean, but this is, again, a neutral, warm, and a couple of cool colors here, but very user-friendly. And the formula is excellent. Out of all of them, to be honest with you, I have to say this one here has the best formula. But the other two does have very, very, very good, close to as perfect as you're going to get, which is, this is my gold standard. But I'm going to have to say this is number 2 for me, okay? Because the color story is beautiful, but again, it's, I don't know, I can't do as much with this one as I can with, you know, Naked 3. Let me see. Oops, the brush fell off. I never used the brushes, by the way. Let me see if I can do this here. Okay, you see, I mean, definitely similar, but I just love this one. And so this now sits at number 2. And then, so that means what leaves number 3 is Naked 2. And it's the color, the shades that I'm wearing. And I think only reason why I say this is because this one is like pretty cool tone, neutral cool tone. And it's, I don't know, it's just way too cool for me. And although there's no kick up, a little bit of fallout, I'm going to say on these two here, not these two here, but not bad at all. Again, like the old formula. Like these top 3, I did have a hard time, you know, to say which one I love the most because the formulas are excellent. And it doesn't, you know, these 3, I mean, if I could only have 3 palettes from the Naked series, I would definitely pick these 3. And if they say you can have a 4th one as a bonus, it would have to be these 4. So yeah, yep, and that's what I got for you guys. So I'm sorry that it took so very long to get this thing filmed, but yeah, so many things happen in between, so many holidays and so many other things. So yeah, now that it's done, I'm glad that I was able to finish it off for you guys. So yeah, and remember guys, this is just my opinion. I mean, some of you, I mean, you know, the Naked Reloaded may be your favorite. It's okay, not a big deal. This is based on my experience, okay? So if I added any value, please do give me a like. And if you haven't subscribed yet and you like this type of content, please do consider it. And ring that bell button and hit all so you know every time I upload a new video. And so my beautiful wildflowers, please do have a good day, a good night, a good week, a good weekend whenever you're watching this. But just remember, I always say this to you, and I truly mean it from the bottom of my left ventricles, never sweat the small stuff. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.